Do you sometimes find yourself thinking that maybe you've outgrown the relationship you have with your significant other, and then you're not quite sure what to do about it? Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey. I'm the author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the founder of Life Mastery Institute. Now, I have had 35 years helping people navigate the terrain of places in their life where they weren't sure what to do. Had a master's degree in counseling psychology, learned a therapeutic model for helping people, spent years and years and years, 35 years studying transformation. I've performed over 500 weddings and over 500 funerals, and I've had many, many conversations with people in that moment of intersection. Do we stay together or do we break apart? Do we leave? So as I'll share my personal story of coming to that decision myself. But before that, I just want to say to you, if you're wondering whether you stay or whether you go, one of the most significant decisions you'll make in your life. And one more thing I want to say about that, you can always leave. You can always leave. So you can't always make it work. So as I give you the 5 steps to know whether or not it's time to leave, know this, you can always leave. You're not always able to keep it together and find new ways of relating. In my first marriage, I got married very young. My husband and I had 2 children right away. 5 years into that marriage, I was absolutely sure I wanted a divorce. We did not have good skill sets for communicating, but we got some help so that we could parent our 2 little boys, even though we decided we weren't going to be together. And the help we got actually gave us the opportunity to make a commitment to work on a relationship for 30 days. And we got some really good help in understanding how to communicate in difficult times. And we were really good at being parents together, and that 30 days turned into 21 more years. And in that 21 more years, a lot of wonderful life happened, including 2 more wonderful kids. So we were great at being parents together. But as we grew older, it was clear to both of us, and particularly to me, that we were never going to line up on many of the wavelengths that 2 people really want to line up on to have a fulfilling, nurturing, expanding, deepening relationship. And so in midlife, we made a decision to separate the married part of our relationship, keep the parenting part of our relationship for our adult kids and our grandkids that we would hope would come and did come. So we transformed the relationship. Now, during the 27 years we were married, we spent 9 different years in therapy, working on how to be together in constructive ways. And it was never easy, really. So here are 5 ways for you to know whether it's time for you to move on or not. The number 1 way to know is there is some kind of danger in the relationship. Your spouse uses credit cards and builds up debt. Your spouse has some sort of gambling or addiction disorder, or there's some sort of physical danger to you. Number 1 sign, get yourself safe and then consider other options. Number 1 sign, there's some kind of danger. Number 2, there's not really danger there, but deep down you know you don't share the same core values. That one of you has a different relationship with truth than the other one. One of you doesn't really want kids and the other one does. One of you loves being a parent, the other one is hardly ever there. That when you look at what it is most important to you, and perhaps when you put your head on the pillow for the very last time in this life, what you will be really glad you invested your time in, and what your partner really is going to be glad they invest their time in, they're not shared enough for you to want to share the journey of a long-term walk together. So number 1, there's some danger. Number 2, you really don't share the same core values. It doesn't make either of you wrong. It just makes that the 2 of you aren't a good fit. Number 3, you're not heading in the same direction or even on the same road, sharing your goals and dreams. Now, your spouse, your partner, your significant other, you're 2 individuals. You have your own growth, your own dreams, your own goals, and you have goals and dreams that are shared between you. But in the long term, you want a path of shared goals and dreams, and you want a supportive path so that your partner's individual dreams and your individual dreams are not at the expense of the shared path that you're taking as partners. In fact, their goals and their dreams actually enhance your goals and your dreams by means of your other partner, your partner, coming alive because they really love what they're doing and they bring that kind of aliveness back into the relationship. And you really love what you're doing and you bring that aliveness back into the relationship. So you want to look at 10 years from now, do we see ourselves ending up in the same place with a life that's flowering and growing in the directions that we would love? So to recap, number 1 is there's danger. Number 2, you don't share the same core values. Number 3, you're not heading the same direction. And number 4, don't leave until you're sure about this one, that you know deep down you have left no stone unturned. What does that mean? That means that, remember, it's easy to leave. And it's not so easy to really see if you've done everything you can to make it work. And over many, many years of working with people, one of the deepest regrets that people live with is usually not the first year, but the third, the fourth, the fifth year after they end a marriage or they end a long-term relationship. They start wondering, what if I had tried harder? What if I'd done this? What if I'd done that? And the opportunity to do those things is gone now. Why I said to you, in my 27-year marriage, we spent 9 individual years. I'm not recommending that, but we spent 9 individual years in counseling, working to turn over different stones and see how we could come together and go deeper or wider or stronger together. And the one place it worked wonderfully for us was parenting and supporting each other in what we wanted to do. But it just wasn't, we weren't on the same path. We weren't on the same wavelength. And so we renegotiated and redesigned a relationship that was no longer a married relationship, but it was a different relationship. So make sure you have no stone unturned, whether that's getting someone to sit down with you, whether it's you doing what you can do, but list all the things you have done to make it work. And then ask yourself, is there any stone I could turn over here that I haven't done? Is there any way for me to look at this and find a different way to approach this so that the love that brought us together could be reignited in me in a way where I can show up and love? And often it helps to just give yourself a 90-day. For the next 90 days, I'm going to, and then pour your heart into it for 90 days. Because what happens when we start thinking about leaving is it's as if we have 2 suitcases out in the driveway and we're sort of watching the relationship. We're not really in the relationship. And the energy to turn it into what we would really love isn't in the house. It's not in the bedroom. It's out in the driveway. So only if we put our full selves in can we really know if it can be what we want it to be. If you're thinking of leaving, make sure you have left no stone unturned. And then number 5, this is a very important one for your long-term spiritual and emotional health. Make sure that when you do end the relationship, if that's what you're going to do, that you're doing that out of an emotionally centered place in you. There's no anger, there's no resentment, there's no blame. It's like you have a perfect right to be you. I have a perfect right to be me. We're not a good fit. We're not a good fit. And that in your heart, you're wishing that other person well. You've let go of, or you plan to, or you're getting help with letting go of all the anger or the resentment or the bitterness, and you're authentically, and you live into this over time, authentically wishing your former spouse only good in and for their lives. That you send them celebration ideas of how grateful you are when you see them doing well. And that energy, of course, is the energy in which you're free now to go and live your life and do your life really well. So while it's not an easy decision to make, it's an important decision to make, and here's 5 ways to know when it's time to leave. Number 1, there's danger. Number 2, you don't share the same core values. Number 3, you're not headed in the same direction. Number 4, you've left no stone unturned. And number 5, you've come to a place where you're just wishing the other person well. You no longer have resentment or bitterness or anger. You've given yourself permission to let them have the life they want to have. They have a right for that. And for you to have the life you want to have. You have a right for that. So I wish you well in this decision. And if you want more support, keep coming back to these videos, because if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll share it. You may know someone for whom this could really help. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you haven't done that already. So here's a question for you. What's an insight or a breakthrough idea that opened up for you as a result of watching this idea? Go ahead and share your thoughts with me in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.